Alright YouTube, what's going on? It's HighTerra5000 here today bringing you a Nomad's Requiem quest guide. The quest requirements for this quest are you must have 75 magic, 70 prayer, 66 mining, 65 hunter, and 60 construction. It's also recommended that you have at least 76 constitution and also at least over 75 in all combat stats, as this is a combat heavy quest. The quest required to complete this quest are Kings Ransom. You must have also completed Night Waves Training Ground and completed the Soul Wars tutorial, which I've got links to all three of those in the description below. The items you require for this quest are a magic weapon to cast fire spells. You will require air or fire runes or a staff to be able to cast the fire spell. It's also recommended that you bring really strong combat equipment, really good food, and then your best prayer and combat potions applicable to your level. It's also recommended for the final fight you bring a Beast of Burden. I'll tell you when to withdraw the Beast of Burden later on at the final fight. There are multiple enemies to defeat during this quest. You are required to kill a Decaying avatar at level 98, and then the boss, Nomad, is level 699. Note, throughout this quest you will be getting attacked by multiple level 70 Spectral cultivators. These have roughly 2,500 health points. Finally, once you're ready, make your way to the location shown on screen, which is the entrance to the Soul Wars minigame, just south of the bank in Edgeville. Once you arrive at the quest start point, you want to enter through the Soul Wars portal. Once inside, you will then see Zimberfizz. Go ahead and speak with. You will then get the quest prompt, accept the quest, continue through the dialogue. Nomad will then teleport away, continue through the dialogue. You then want to investigate the tent, which is just to your east. And then you will be teleported into a cutscene. Continue through the dialogue in the cutscene. You'll then be teleported into a hidden temple. Go and speak with Nomad. Select option number 2, Zimberfizz sent me here to see where you went. Climb up the ladder just to your east. And then you want to re-speak with Zimberfizz. Select option number 1, talk about Nomad's Requiem. For this next part, we will be disabling the power. Investigate the tent once again. Once down the ladder, head directly to your west. And then you want to go through the doorway to the southwestern corner. You will then arrive in a puzzle room. Head over to the southeast corner and climb up the ladder. Do note that you will be getting attacked here. Once you're up the ladder, you will see 2 levers in this room. Pull them both. Once you've pulled both levers, climb up the ladder to your northeast. Once upstairs, you will see 2 pillars. You want to go and stand to the north of the northern pillar, like so. You then want to push this 2 tiles south, so it's over the drain. Likewise, you want to do the same with the southern pillar. Go to the south of the southern pillar and then push it north twice, so it is over the drain. Once this is complete, all the channels will fill with water. You then want to head over to your northeast and climb back down the ladder. You then want to head over to the south of the room. As you will notice at the south of the room, there shouldn't be any water flowing in the empty channel. To go ahead and get water into this empty channel, you need to start pulling the levers. Now there's no sequence to this, you just need to continuously pull the levers until the water moves and flows down through the southern channel. As you can see, after 3 attempts of pulling the lever, I've managed to get water through the channel to make it a full channel. Climb back down the ladder to your southeast. Once you're back downstairs, there will be multiple enemies still in this room. I recommend killing all of these enemies as we will be spending a bit of time in this room as we need to push multiple statues around. To start with, head into the middle of the pillars. As we can see, we've got 8 pillars around us. We need to move these in a sequence, which I've got on screen to complete this puzzle. First of all, head to the west side of the western pillar. You then want to push this east over the central drain. Next, head to the north of the northwestern statue, and then push this south over the drain. Go and stand to the east side of the northern central statue, and then push this into the northwestern corner. Head to the east side of the northeastern statue. You then want to push this west into the north central location. Stand south of the east central statue. You then want to push this north into the northeastern corner. Stand south of the southeastern statue. Push this north so then it is over the eastern central drain. Stand south of the southeastern pillar. Push this north so it then lands up over the central eastern drain. Go stand to the west of the south central statue. Push this to the southeastern corner. Once you reach this stage, you'll get a snippet of dialogue. This is positive news. Head to the north of the central statue. You then want to push this statue south. Head to your north of the north central statue. You then want to push the north central statue south over the middle drain. Head to the east of the northeast statue. You want to move this statue to the north central position. Stand south of the central eastern statue. Push this north to cover the northeastern drain. Head south of the southeastern statue. Push this statue north so it covers the eastern central drain. Head west of the south central statue. Push this statue east to cover the southeastern drain. Head west of the southwestern statue. Push this statue to the east, covering the southern central drain. Stand north of the central western statue. Push this statue south to cover the southwestern drain. Stand north of the northwestern statue. Push this statue south. Stand east of the north central statue. Push this statue west to cover the northwestern drain. Stand east of the northeastern statue. Push this statue west to cover the northern central drain. Stand south of the central eastern statue. Push this statue north to cover the northeastern drain. Finally, stand south of the southeastern statue. Push this statue north to cover the eastern central drain. Once you do this, the screen will shake a bit. You'll then get some dialogue saying that this part of the puzzle is complete. You now want to climb back up the ladder to your southeast. Once you've climbed up the ladder, you want to mine the rubble just to your north. This is up against the eastern wall. You then want to pull the southern lever until water starts flowing through the eastern channel. This may take multiple pulls. Once you've got water in this channel, climb back down the ladder to the southeast. Go north and exit out of the northern doorway. Enter into the southeastern doorway just along the southern wall. Once you enter this room, you will see a waterfall over to the eastern wall. Note, if this waterfall is only dripping, then you have pulled the levers in the previous room wrong. You should have a constant flow like I have in the top left hand corner. Take from the fuel hopper in the northeastern corner. Fill up your inventory as much as possible. We now need to lure these elemental creatures known as spectral tenders into the waterfall by dropping the fuel on the floor. Make your way to your southeast and then stand directly where I am standing. This is to the northwest of where the most eastern wall starts. Note I have a small fern to my east and a small fern to my northwest. Start off by placing elemental fuel here. Once you've done this, head to your south and then stand where I am standing right now. Place another piece of elemental fuel here. Then finally stand inside the waterfall and then place another piece of elemental fuel here. Then stand away from the waterfall and watch as the elemental creature is dragged towards the waterfall. You now need to do this 2 more times over. Exact same thing again, go and take from the fuel hopper in the northeastern corner. You then want to place the elemental fuel in the exact spots I just showed you again to get rid of the remaining 2 elemental creatures. Note that before the second one is actually under the waterfall, you can go and start to take more food from the fuel hopper. Once you successfully complete this a 3rd time, your screen will then shake again. You will then get a small piece of dialogue. Exit out of the room through the northern doorway. Note at this stage, if you need to bank, go ahead and do so. For this next part, we require combat gear, weapons, food and standard prayers, all the items that I listed at the start of the quest guide. Head to your north and then enter through the arcane doorway. Head to your northwest and then enter through the western doorway. Continue along the corridor to your west. You'll then see the strange device surrounded by roots on the northern wall. Attempt to destroy one of these roots. Looking on the floor just south of the strange device, there are roots which lead off to 4 different corners of this larger room. These 4 corners contain lone roots which you want to go and destroy all 4 of these. Once you're at the roots, simply select the destroy option. Once you destroy the final vine, you will notice your screen will shake and you will hear a huge roar throughout the temple. To your north, by the strange device, a decaying avatar level 98 with 50,000 life points will appear. I'm about to go round and start attacking the decaying avatar. While I am attacking the decaying avatar, I will explain how it works and be listing all the instructions required. You might want to hold out and watch me do it first before you do it yourself. This decaying avatar is level 98 and has 50,000 health points. Sounds easy, however there's a catch. While killing the decaying avatar, you need to destroy the roots when they appear in the corners of the room. If you do not reach these roots before the decaying avatar does, the decaying avatar will use these roots and heal back to near full health. Roots spawn northwest, then southeast, then northeast, and will heal the avatar 100% should the avatar get there first. The player can have more time to destroy the roots by safe spotting the decaying avatar from the opposite end of the room. Activating Protect from Melee or Deflect Melee is highly advised when switching safe spots. Note that using binds or freeze spells is not advised as it will not prevent the avatar from walking to the roots. When I was doing this, it took me a few attempts because the avatar managed to get to the roots before me. On the last time the avatar got its health back, it didn't actually get to the root before me. I quite clearly touched the root. However, I've got a feeling it's either a dodgy mechanic or you've got to be at the roots a good 2 or 3 seconds before the decaying avatar does. Overall, this is a very easy fight and won't take you long at all. However, just watch out, you can be engaged in combat for quite a while if you do land up not destroying the roots quick enough. If you've got any extra tips on the boss, then please leave them in the comment section below. Note that any prayers can be used during this fight. Finally, once you defeat him, you'll get a short piece of dialogue. Once you're finished, exits back out the door to your east. Once back in the main room, head round to the east. Just outside the doorway, you will come across a knight. Go ahead and speak with this knight. Before we go through into the next room, make sure you either have an overload or a super restore on you because your magic level will be getting drained. Do note you can also use piety for this, however it doesn't have the best effect. What's going to happen in this next room is it's not a combat room, but there's poisonous gas which starts to drain your stats. With this, we need to try and keep our magic level above 75 so we can cast the fire spell we need to ignite the battles. However, obviously the gas is going to be draining your stat and you need some way to bring your stat back up as it gets drained. So make sure you have one of those on you. If you do not have either a super restore, an overload, or access to piety, then you will struggle here. I recommend going to the bank and getting one of those items. Enter through the doorway. Once you're in the room, consider turning on piety to avoid constant damage and stat reduction, or use a super restore potion to keep your magic high enough to cast the fire spell. You want to take 5 slabs from the rubble around the room. You then want to place the stone slabs to complete and cross the bridge across the central body of water. Note when you are jumping onto the second slab, you then need to place a slab down, then jump to it. Place, jump until you get over the other side. You then want to ignite the barrels with the magic weapon equipped and the fire spell active. You will be using Fire Wave, a level 75 magic spell which requires 4 air runes and 4 fire runes. Once you have destroyed the strange device, head back over to your west and then exit out of the western door. You now want to make your way to a bank in Gillinor so we can prepare for this final fight against Nomad level 699. You can bank any previous items from before, you just want to bring along a strong combat setup. You also want to bring a one-click teleport and combat and prayer potions along with lots and lots of food. I've also gone ahead and brought a Beast of Burden, a War Tortoise, for more food. This is recommended as you do take a lot of damage just due to the special attacks during this fight. I will be explaining all the mechanics of the boss while I go through it on screen, so again it might be worth watching before you do it yourself. There's no official preference over which combat style you use, however I would personally recommend either going with range or mage. This means you can keep a distance and this is super helpful when you are hiding behind a pillar, which you'll see why in a second. You can still use melee, it just means the fight might go on for longer. Finally, once you're ready, make your way back to the portal as shown on screen. Once you arrive back at the portal, enter inside. You then want to investigate the tent just to your east. Once back inside the cave, head through the arcane doorway to the north. Before you enter into the arcane doorway for the north, prepare your final preparations for the fight. There is a tiny bit of dialogue before the fighting commences. I am going to activate my Vampirism aura. Once you are ready for the fight, enter through the arcane door to the north. Select option number 1 yes to confirm you're ready to confront Nomad. Continue through the dialogue and then select option number 1, I already told you I'm not an assassin. Then you can select any option here. I'm going to select option number 2, I've had enough of this. Note, after this you will go straight into combat. So, killing Nomad. Overall I found it easier than I thought, but I did know the mechanics very well and I can see why people will struggle with this. There's a lot to know, so listen up. There's also text on screen right now. In short, after a while of damage, you will see bombs being laid. These happen in the centre of the room and they are orange circles which are placed on the floor. When he places these, do not stand on these. If you do, they will deal you 4000 damage. I got incredibly lucky. As soon as he started laying bombs, I ran behind a pillar. Unfortunately, the tile I ran over didn't have a bomb on it as of yet. He has also got another special attack, You Cannot Hide from My Wrath, which deals 7500 damage. For this, go and hide behind a pillar. You've got 8 seconds to do this. If not, you can tank this, but I would highly recommend eating above your hit points. If he summons clones, which he should do at some point during the fight, the real one attacks you last, otherwise kill them all. Just look out for the last one to attack you. If you get this wrong, then you will have 3 remaining and it's essentially just elimination. Keep attacking them all until you get to the original Nomad. If he shouts face me, this is an awkward one. Basically you're not hitting him enough. If he says this and you don't hit him in time, he will restore his health points to full and teleport to you. This can happen if you hide behind a pillar too much, for example. Overall, this is an easy mechanic, just make sure you're continuously attacking him. Towards the end of the fight, he will also teleport you into the centre of the room and stun you. The next attack will deal all your maximum life points -1, so eat to full and even more health points on top of that. I believe I didn't actually get the special attack because I got through the fight so fast. However, if I was to get it, I would have been prepared because as you noticed during this fight, my hit points were always over my maximum, 9100, and I was making sure of it as I went throughout the fight, and this is why you will go through a lot of food. Finally, at the end of the fight, he will shout, "This ends now." He will then start attacking you rapidly. It's important at this stage not to hide but to finish him off at this point, otherwise he will restore his life points and you'll have to restart the fight again. This is the point where he is at his weakest and you are very close to finishing the fight, so just keep attacking. If you've also got any other tactics, then leave them down below to help each other out. Eventually, once you kill Nomad, you'll get a dark screen. You'll then be teleported back out to Zimberfizz. Continue through the dialogue and select option number 1, talk about Nomad's Requiem. You will then get another cutscene. Select any option you like. I'm going to select option number 2, meh. You'll then be teleported back out to the Soul Wars entrance, and then that'll be the quest complete. Congratulations, you've completed Nomad's Requiem. You're awarded with 3 quest points, 70 Soul Wars Zeal points, Soul Wars Cape, Soul Wars respawn points, talk to Zimberfizz to choose your Soul Wars Cape, access to a Bloodwood tree in the Soul Wars waiting area, Nomad and Decaying avatar in the Dominion Tower, along with 2 treasure hunter keys. Thanks very much for watching this quest guide. Please leave a like, rating and subscribe if you are new around here. Go down into that description below and check out my other quest series playlists, where I'm sure I will be able to help you out with another quest. There's also links to my Twitter, Patreon and Discord down in the description below, and if you can help me out on any of those, that would be greatly appreciated. And that is all for this quest guide, ladies and gentlemen, so thanks very much for watching. My name is Hightower5000, and I'm out.